Welcome to the last session of Part 2 of America's Freedom Seminar.
The Preamble is a short paragraph introducing the Constitution. In it, the founders gave 6 reasons for creating this powerful document. We, the people of the United States. Before giving their reasons for the Constitution, let's be grateful that these unselfish founders were not maneuvering themselves into position to become kings and magistrates, as we see so many politicians anxiously doing today. Here is the first purpose of the Constitution: to form a more perfect union. The states were already organized under the loose Articles of Confederation, which was too weak to meet the goals of good government. Because the states were fiercely independent at this time, their loose confederation was all the unity they could muster. But Washington found out how powerless they were at Valley Forge when the American army nearly starved to death. The states wouldn't band together enough to fund their own war. The second reason for the Constitution is to establish justice. There are people today who would abuse mercy by overusing it to rob justice. In the extreme, this would result in no justice at all. Every criminal would get away with his crime. Many soft of heart, which by itself is commendable, go too far and permit atrocities that destroy our freedom if not checked. No, mercy cannot rule by itself. Justice must rule with it. Both are principles given by God and to be used as He instructs. Government must be strong enough to overcome criminal powers, drug cartels, mobs, and protect minorities from bully majorities. Ensure domestic tranquility. Domestic means within the nation, not limited to American homes. Tranquility, of course, means peace. But to achieve this, it is not meant that the federal government take over any state or family experiencing inner turmoil. One state might rise up against another. If one state attacks another, or a state needs help putting down a revolution, etc., the federal government is authorized to assist, but again, not to take over the rights of any state. Provide for the common defense. This applies to the nation as a whole, the states in common. However, the states have every right to maintain a militia or national guard to protect the people within their own borders, without federal interference. Obviously, this defense by states in committee would be extremely inefficient and helpless, and be defeated. George Washington had enough of that failure during the Revolution. Can you imagine the chaos and disaster that would occur if the states tried to fight a war as a committee using the Articles of Confederation? Never again, the founders declared. Such a plan nearly cost them the war. Promote the general welfare. Did you read provide in that statement? Why are we providing welfare today? That's not what the founders meant or said at all. Promote means to encourage, not provide. And it was encouragement for everyone equally at the same time, the general welfare. General welfare does not mean to favor this group or that group that needs help. Bringing aid to minorities is up to the states or local governments acting within their state constitutions or by volunteer organizations specially organized to help the unfortunate. But federal aid from Washington? It was never intended, and it was never right under our original laws. Taxes are only to fund the general government and its specific duties outlined in the Constitution. Providing health care or other services is not so specified and is therefore unconstitutional. If you feel sorry for the unfortunate, then organize or contribute funds to assist privately. That is taking personal responsibility, the theme of our seminar. That's how welfare used to function in America, and it worked very well, as long as the people had the love of God in them, which always spills over to loving and taking care of one another when others can't take care of themselves. The last reason for proposing the Constitution was to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. So there's the question, are we going to preserve it for our posterity or not? How refreshing it would be to have great Americans in charge again, who think of others along with their own private gain. The Preamble finishes with a decree that the Constitution is to be the supreme law governing the land, and also establishes the same in writing to the world, that this will be the Constitution for the United States of America. We've covered a lot of ground during this session, so let's review briefly. Human nature is good and bad, depending on how each of us use or abuse it. The Constitution can only function as intended when citizens use their higher human nature to maintain the blessings of prosperity and happiness. That means living by and preserving the Constitution itself. We learned that our enemies choose the words we love to twist their meaning in order to confuse us and divide our unity, weakening us so they have a better chance to take over. They are relentless. Then we learned the 6 reasons why the founders wrote the Constitution. The book, The 5,000-Year Leap, will help clarify and deepen everything we've talked about. It is a concise tool for learning the principles of liberty. It's up to you to read it, study it, and enjoy it. Remember, these are high ideals designed for more peace and prosperity for all. Everyone who chooses to further his knowledge and virtue adds strength to the nation, and together will strive daily to recover from the mistakes and ignorance of the past. Your commitment to freedom will help turn the good ship America around and into the dawn rather than into the sunset and a dark night. Yes, there is much to hope for because our God is the God of hope. In order to get from here to there, we need to change our ways and place Him again at the head, as sovereign in our lives. Then let freedom ring.